brought to my attention by the internet, the glorious internet, that my mom was caught outside of a Toronto Maple Leafs hockey game recently. Take it away.
I'm really sorry. I came all the way from Scotland. I thought the Leafs were going to win 2 games. They lost. It must have been the fact that the guys were so...
Okay, so this is kind of funny, but he's supposed to mama. Like, that's kind of funny because he, like, makes jokes about himself, you know, and his mother and everything. So I know y'all probably like, okay, Casey, we know what he did, so... But anyway, we have Andrew Schulz talking about the JFK release. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. By the way, we are watching this live together, as in live, like I myself have not seen it. So you'll get my raw reaction to it.
Minimum prices of albums increasing at all retailers: $7.99 for CD, $7.99 for cassette, $15 for vinyl.
Is it for like buying albums?
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I think they said if you drop it on like another site, like outside of the streamers or something.
I just saw it say the JFK 5 release. Like, is it? Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. That's what happens when you go, we'll do it live. No, all right, let's just go.
You can't read them, but they're out there.
Yeah. Like the Epstein one, the thing that I think Sagar even said, like they redacted stuff that was already out. Yeah.
All right, so this is about the JFK files, right? And they're making a very good point that you can't read them, but they're out there, kind of thing. And I started going through them or whatever, and I have a team that's been going through them or whatever. And so I've been working really hard looking at these files and stuff, and it's framed to look like Lee Harvey Oswald was working for the Soviet Union and trying to cause problems with Cuba, right? And the whole discussion around the assassination of JFK is that our CIA was also, like, you know, going rogue and working to assassinate the president because they wanted to go into Cuba, but he didn't. I've actually heard that. And, you know, I mean, sadly, it's not true. And when I say sadly, it's not true, but I remember hearing that and thinking like, oh, my God, what a strong man. You know, he just didn't want to go with the military-industrial complex. Like, that is so, you know. And then it's like, I get it because it still makes him look like a hero, but it doesn't really deal with the problems that we have inside. But anyway, we're going to take a look at these guys and everything they have to say about it. And then I'll, you know, do the whole Twitter thing, and then we'll go from there. By the way, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos. There was a person who sent me a super thanks. I went back to go comment and say thank you. I cannot find the comment. It's really annoying because I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm not grateful for that. I'm grateful for everything when it comes to people watching and what I do, all of it. So to that person, you know who you are. I think y'all probably like, dang, just one person. Yeah, just one person. But still, somebody who cared enough to do it. So thank you so much.
There was more shit covered.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna know anything that they don't want us to know.
It was interesting to hear how kind of like skeptical or like kind of down on this first part of Trump's term that Sagar was.
Interesting.
You remember he was just like, I don't like what's happening. I don't like the power Elon has. I don't think this bodes well for Trump and his legacy. Yeah. Like, it was interesting to hear that from a staunch conservative. Yeah. That like, I'm not very happy with this administration right now.
Is that what you got from the combo?
That's what I got from the combo.
I should have been listening. I didn't get that.
He was criticizing Elon. He was criticizing. Y'all didn't hear that?
Yeah, he was criticizing.
Let me see. Who were they? Because I'm always paying attention to stuff, and I kind of feel like they're talking about Steve Bannon. But I could be wrong. You know what I hate? Oh, all right, bet. They're saying him, because Steve Bannon has been going off. Oh, it was Cigar. Oh, it was, wait. Oh, God. I don't feel like going all the way back to the top. Hold on. Let me see something.
Crazy in the club.
All right. Well, what do we got, guys? Before we get out of here, let's do one more thing.
I mean, McGregor pulled up on Trumpito.
We still don't have the JFK files. Nobody read 80,000 pages this morning. Can you throw that shit in ChatGPT? And just...
That's what I was thinking.
ChatGPT is gonna be like, yeah, it's all redacted. You even said it. Like they redacted stuff that were
skeptical or like kind of down on this first part of Trump's term that Sagar was.
Interesting.
You remember he was just like, I don't like what's happening.
Yeah, Sagar and Jetty, I think is his name. Yeah, I'm not shocked, because of the foreign policy. So there's some of us that focus a lot on foreign policy. I am one of them, and I don't like where it's going, because the way I look at it is this, right? We have like a hierarchy, right? And so we can sit here and be like, oh, but Trump is doing this domestically. He's doing that domestically. Yeah, but if we get involved in a war, all of that gets Trump. This is not early 2000s where we went into a war with Iraq and it actually boosted the economy, which is very sad to think about, really, in reality. But I'm getting, as we're speaking, I'm getting like notices about war. This isn't what I want, because if we go into a war, we're not where we were before. We want to build back up to that, right? And if we go into a war, well, that trumps everything, That becomes priority number one. So none of this other stuff matters. So that's why, you're obsessed with the foreign policies. You're obsessed with the Middle East. Yeah, because when that stuff starts to get ridiculous, what's going to happen now? Are we ready to do this again? Okay, so I went on a long diatribe. Let me just let them keep talking. I promise I won't stop them from talking for like the next 2 minutes.
Power Elon has. I don't think this bodes well for Trump and his legacy. Yeah. Like, it was interesting to hear that from a staunch conservative. Yeah. That like, I'm not very happy with this administration right now.
Is that what you got from the convo?
That's what I got from the convo.
I should have been listening. I didn't get that.
He was criticizing Elon. He was criticizing. Y'all didn't hear that?
Yeah, he was criticizing Elon. Not too much.
But he was just like, the first 100 days defines a presidency. Right now, it's getting dominated by this. This is the story. And that is incredibly important for Trump's legacy. And if he keeps letting Elon dominate the headlines instead of the other things he's doing, that's not going to be good. Like, I'm not very bullish on how this is going to be viewed. And I think he wasn't bullish on a lot of the Doja stuff in general. But like, it was interesting to hear that from a guy who I figured would love what was happening.
Yeah. The sense I got was just like hesitant, and like he sees that it's a risky play that could pan out. But he does see the risk that's involved in the strategy.
Yeah, well, I thought he was even more like not that into it than what you're saying.
Now, to be fair, I think that we were kind of like forcing him to give a steel man. And I think that's maybe what you're responding to.
Maybe.
You see all the Teslas exploding?
Yeah. I'm not getting into that. And I'm going to have to cover that Sajar and Jetty video. I might actually have to cover it on Bring the Asteroid. It's actually a good idea, because now I need to see the framework of how that went, because they did have Sajar and Jetty on there, and he was, given some criticisms, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I clipped it for somebody else, but I didn't watch the whole thing. By the way, guys, I do clip videos for other people. I do find topics for other people, but we're going to grow that business. So back to JFK. Let's just real quick do a Twitter, a Twitter tour, and then we go from there. Let me hurry up and take you off of my, okay, so my notifications get crazy. I talked to okay, so let's just go ahead and do JFK files, which, to be honest, is not even something that's on here. So, hold on. I bet. Then they gave JFK his own page on Twitter, which I found to be quite. I found them to be quite disgusting. Actually, let me just write JFK files. Like, we don't need to do that. Like, he's dead, guys. And we certainly haven't done anything. And I don't see the page right away. Oh, because I'm putting in JFK files. We certainly haven't done anything to avenge his legacy at all. So I just think, like, the JFK page is just like disgusting to me. So we have people release. This is Ryan Dawson. Okay, release JFK files, but omit everything about Israel. I gotta be careful, because it's gonna now be it's going to be maybe a keyword. There's certain words we can't say on Twitter, so we're gonna call this the J files, and we'll call the nation abroad, the igloos. Sorry, unfortunately, I have to talk, but yeah, release the J files, but omit everything about the igloos. There's your answer without answering it. The igloos did it. So this person's put a lot of work into this research for sure. Let me see. I said, Mr. Lee, it's apparently like a call that was made to the British ambassador, saying that they knew this would happen. Everybody's tripping because Joe Biden's name was on there. Angleton, that's a big name. Okay, one of the most important documents in the this is Stu Peters. Shout out to Stu Peters. If you're not following him, go ahead and go follow him. One of the most important documents in the JFK file is missing. The testimony of CIA counterintelligence chief turned Israeli. Damn it. James Angleton, his name is probably now on the algorithm list too. Before a secret session with the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence Activities, and then they have like a docket number. So this is missing. This guy's name, and yeah, there's just going to be a bunch of implications. So that name of that person that I just. Some of these posts, man, for real, like I take a chance coming on Twitter with y'all. But some of these, this guy's name, this particular name right here, he was a spy for the Igloos, and he was hired to follow Oswald, check his mail, follow his wife, all kinds of things. And so part of the story goes that the Igloos were, starting a new nation, and our president got in the way of them getting nukes and things like that, and then he had to go. This is a story definitely for me to go live on, so I'm just going to leave it there. But, hey, appreciate the guys, as always, coming up and talking about those hard topics that we always need to talk about, and some people don't. They, of course, gloss over it. It's okay. I see this guy has his nail polish on again today. It is disgusting to me. But anyway, I will see you guys at the next one. Bye.